You're listening to Real Facts on Real Estate with Sean Patrick Maloney.
This sounds good.
Welcome to episode 10, Mastering Lead Conversion. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. Last week we talked a lot about marketing and getting everything started. The thing with marketing is it creates leads, so let's talk about what to do with those leads once they get there. I'm going to talk about lead follow-up, what is a lead, how to track leads, qualifying leads, statistics on leads, objections, and also CRM. One of the most staggering facts, whenever I cite facts this time, I'm going to be talking from the Harvard Business School, some different statistics they've given us. Imagine 30% of leads have never been contacted. That one I found the most staggering. It's amazing to me how often in this business a lead goes with no follow-up. Not one single speck of follow-up. Sometimes the most common lead is when someone's out and about and they hear someone say, hey, I'm thinking of moving or I'm thinking about buying. All the time agents just say, oh, that's great, and then they never follow up. Guess what? That was a lead. You just had somebody tell you they wanted to buy or sell a home, but because you took it light and casually, you never followed up with them. That's why in the future you're going to read about this person closing on a house and wonder why, or read about this person's house being for sale and wonder why you were never contacted. You were contacted. You just took it too lightly. It's one thing we all of us agents do is take our friend's word too lightly and not actually work on it. And this is the concern they have, and the reason they tend not to list or buy with people is because of the fact that they don't think you're going to take the job as serious because you're going to give them the friends and family discount, which comes with a discounted service. I'm here to remind you, never do that. Lead follow-up is the most important thing. So next, let's talk about the whole lead follow-up system. So what is lead follow-up? Lead follow-up is when you get a lead, what do you do to proceed forward with them? I recommend coming up with a bunch of different lead follow-ups based on the lead style and temperature. What the temperature means is I usually either rate them A, B, C, D, E, or I rate them hot and cold. But what you want to do is have a way of distinguishing different style leads and putting them in different lead pipelines. So let's jump over for one sec to the most important part of lead follow-up. That's going to be a CRM system. Within your CRM system, you have a way of taking notes, and the notes are very, very important in order to follow up with why the lead is who they are. And eventually you can get to a point where you can set up certain boxes on your CRM system that can control what type of lead it is and then give you a way to have some order to the whole operation. You can sort them out. My particular system happens to have lead statuses. I like to think that we have one of the best CRMs in the business because we custom made it to fit for our own needs. Some of our different lead pipelines would be Zillow, phone call, email, web marketing, website form, referrals, and many more. Each one of these different categories has a different follow-up system. All your follow-ups, you want to have one thing or another happen. You either want to have the person say yes or no. And if they don't say yes or no, you want to have somewhere they're going to land. We tend to call this a lead farm. The lead farm is somewhere where you can set automation in place, like marketing emails and other things like that, to make sure that they're never lost. And then eventually you surface them back up again and you put them through the same campaign you did before and see if you can convert them. No lead is ever dead until you hear yes or no. It's okay for somebody to tell you you need to leave. You need to stop calling me. That's perfectly fine. That's exactly what we want. We want yes, I'm ready to go, or no, I'm ready to leave. That is the only way we're ever going to give up on leads, or we come up with a number. Our personal number is 2 years. After 2 years, if we haven't heard back from them, they're not answering us, and we've already put them back and forth in and out of our system of farm versus human contact, that's when we drop them. 2 years. Yes, I said 2 years. So remember, really, really long. You pay a lot for leads. Leads aren't that easy to come by. A lot of people in real estate come on 6 to 18 months before they actually want to do something. So 2 years is a very practical number. Once you have them in these lead statuses and you want to work on your follow-up, you want to set up a follow-up for each one. I use an integration of phone calls, text messages, emails, and also personal contacts. So with the phone calls, when you call a lead and the person doesn't answer, most commonly a person leaves a one-way voicemail. What's a one-way voicemail? A one-way voicemail is when you say something like, hello, this is Sean Patrick Maloney over at Movementum Realty. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get a hold of you today. If you can please give me a call back at 781-535-7505, I'd appreciate it. I look forward to talking with you. The reason this is a one-way phone call is because this tells the lead, you need to call me back or I'm not going to call you back. Instead of that, why not just not leave a voicemail? And then text and say, hey, I'm sorry I missed you earlier. I tried on the phone. Maybe you can't talk right now. Is there a best time? ? This gives them an opportunity to text you back, which for some people is a little less intrusive. And being a little less intrusive means that they feel a little more comfortable in the beginning of the lead conversion. So don't feel bad doing that. Or to send them a text message that said, hey, I know it's not a good time right now. I'm going to try you back at, and name a time. Maybe you say 6 p.m. Then call back at 6 p.m. When you do this, they're going to know, if I don't answer this phone call, this guy's going to keep going, or this woman's going to keep going. By doing this, we're going to get a better rate of yeses and nos. The number one thing most agents are afraid of is the word no. No is great. It saves us time and effort in the generation of leads and also gives us space to put in more good leads. So getting that no is perfect. The other thing you can do when you're using email, phone call, and text is you can send them a text that says that you want to reach out to them at 6, they don't answer, so you send them an email that says, I'm sorry, I seem to not be choosing the right method to get a hold of you. I think that email might be best from here forward. Does this work for you? ? Again, we're giving them an opportunity for a yes or a no, and we're giving them an opportunity to leave or to continue moving forward with us. As we cycle through the process of follow-up, we can end up putting it at the end when we're about to put them into the farm. Hey, I'm sorry we can't catch up yet. I'm not sure if it's my timing is off or what's going on, but I'm going to leave you alone for a little bit. I'll reach back out to you in a couple months. I look forward to talking to you then. This is an excellent way of putting them into the farm. And when they're in the farm, you're going to send them emails automatically, but you're going to send them emails that are more generic, not ones trying to convert them as a lead, but ones giving them good content and good value. You want to provide them with things like market reports, new listings, other information about the market, maybe a first-time home buyer's guide or a first-time home seller's guide, different information that makes them realize, wow, this person is the professional in the industry, and when I am ready, I'm going to reach back out to them. So when you're doing the lead follow-up, another thing to think about is what's the best time of day and what's the best days of the week. The Harvard Business study that was done says Wednesday and Thursday is the best days of the week. And timing-wise, between 4 and 5 p.m. or between 8 and 9 a.m. are the two most optimal times. When you're doing this, you got to remember that people are busy during the day. And the other thing to remember is if you think you're being annoying with follow-up, realize this, you're putting more self-importance to yourself than you really have. You're not as important as you think you are. Everybody always thinks they're more important than they are. Understanding this importance to the consumer is an important thing. It's a good way of getting over that fear of being annoying. All of us have that fear. We're thinking, oh my God, if I contact this person again, they're going to be so annoyed with me. I have friends that have email boxes or text message boxes or voicemail that actually sit full. They're not even able to see anymore. So this tells me that this person, if I was to try to leave them a voicemail, I can't even do it. Which means you're not going to be annoying to this person. They don't even check their voicemails. They don't even check their text. Probably haven't even read the last one you sent. The only way to get to the front of the queue is to get another notification on their phone, which means if you're not following up more than once, you're not going to get there. Listen to these statistics. Only 40% of leads convert on the first try. That's a very low number, but 90% of leads will convert by the 6th try. Now, I'm not saying 90% of all leads that come in or 40% of all leads that come in will convert. I'm saying 40% of the convertible leads will have happened on the first try, whereas 90% will happen by the 6th try. But again, 30% of leads are never contacted. So that's a crazy numbers when you think, if I'm really going to be working it, I really want to work at least 6 times. I personally believe in more contact, more contact, more contact. Yes or no, go or leave, we're going to get an answer out of you. The next thing is, remember, speed to lead. Speed to lead is one of the most important things that people forget. When getting leads, it's best to contact them within 5 minutes. It reduces in value by 10 times after every minute that passes. As soon as 10 minutes out, you have 400% less chance of converting that lead because you waited. Remember, in real estate, a lot of times the lead sources that we have are contacting multiple agents, whether it be that they're reaching out to agents direct from the phone book or the internet, or you're buying the leads. It doesn't matter. There's multiple sources. On a comparative market analysis, you got to imagine that there's at least 3 years. On buyers, it could be as many as 5 or 10. So remember, when you're calling these leads, speed to lead is everything. Get the commitment, get the appointment, get out there and see it. Don't wait. Don't say, oh, well, I'll call them later on. Or, oh, this is a cold lead. I'll reach out to them in the future. No, speed to lead, always. Every single lead. And again, especially if it's friends or family. If they mention they're interested in real estate and you do them the disservice of not reaching out to them right away or not reaching out to them the next day to follow back up on it, you can only imagine how frustrating this is. Someone they trust and love is not willing to even work with them on real estate. That is why you're going to read about them closing with somebody else. So let's talk about the next thing. How to track your leads. We talked about it earlier. You're going to put them into the CRM and set them up in statuses. Inside of your CRM, there's going to be a conversion thing. This is why it's ultimately important to use the CRM for its fullest. Make sure you're writing notes and make sure if the lead doesn't convert, it's correctly put into a dead status. This is going to allow us to see every lead. All the time, agents go, okay, that lead didn't convert, I won't put it in the system. Or okay, that lead didn't convert, I'll delete it. What this is going to do is give you bad data. You want to know when you take in 100 leads, if you're getting 5 leads out, you have a 5% lead conversion rate. The lead conversion rate is very important because it's going to help you figure out your ROI. ROI stands for return on investment. If you properly put statuses in for each lead source and track every single lead, it's very easy for you to look at your return on investment. Lots and lots of times I talk with agents and they say, how much does XYZ marketing cost? Marketing does not cost money. Marketing makes money. Marketing creates return on investment. If you have good lead tracking and you're watching your marketing, there is no reason you should ever be losing money on marketing. You should be gaining money every single time, and that's why you're tracking your return on investment. Some of the next most important things to remember are qualifying questions. Qualifying questions, again, are very scary for a lot of agents. Why would I take a lead I just got and try to kick them out? We're trying to kick them out so that we can figure out, are we wasting time with someone who cannot buy? Some of the most common and known qualifying questions are you pre-qualified? Do you have a home to sell? Are you able to buy a home and sell a home at the same time? Are you planning on buying this home for an investment or for a place to live? All of these questions are going to ask them questions that you need the answers to in order to correctly work for them. It may be mortgage questions or it may be questions about them in general, but by asking these questions, if they say no to certain ones or they say yes to others, it tells you where you need to be. It tells you whether they actually have the ability to perform. The ability to perform is going to be the most important thing. Now remember, when you say to somebody, do you have an agent? This is a really risky qualifying question. Who doesn't know an agent? Their cousin, their brother, their mother, their uncle. Everybody knows an agent. When you ask this question, this is one where you disqualify a lot of people. And you accidentally do it. I just recently worked a transaction with someone whose aunt's a real estate agent. You know why I did it? Because what we talked about earlier. The aunt didn't give her the time of day. The aunt wanted her to just go on Zillow or MLS and tell her the house she wanted to buy, and she just wanted to get the big paycheck. Well, guess what? I'm getting the big paycheck, and the aunt's getting the big, I don't know what we want to call it, but we won't use those words here. The reason being, she didn't treat her with respect. So when asking these qualifying questions, make sure you know how to go with the objections. When they say, no, I'm not pre-approved, don't say, oh, well, you're not ready to buy a house. You say, not a problem. I have a list of qualified mortgage professionals that I can set you up with. Would you like me to do that? And when they say yes, make sure that you have the mortgage professional reach out to them and not the opposite direction. Now you have 2 people working the lead, you and your mortgage professional. You're going to work the lead together so that when they convert, as far as the pre-approval, they're going to bounce right back into your lead queue. And don't feel bad helping them out during this process. I know that there's things like RESPA that you need to put at least 3 mortgage professionals out, but there's no way that you don't know 3 good mortgage professionals. Make sure you work with those mortgage professionals on the regular and explain how you work your leads and what's already been done. That way there you're not both sending them automation of the same things, and that way there you're both working them the same way. Next, I want to talk about some other objections. People are going to have objections for you all the time. Objections are one of the most common ways of vetting whether you know what you're doing or not by the lead. A lot of times we don't realize this, but leads will come up with objections that make no sense. Well, there's no way I'm going to get pre-qualified. Have you tried yet? No. I don't want to hurt my credit. Well, did you know that it actually doesn't really hurt your credit to have a pre-approval done? Why don't you talk to one of my mortgage professionals? Always refer them to the correct person when dealing with objections. Again, we talked about it just a moment ago. By making that second connection, the mortgage professional, they're going to have a second person working the lead, and there's a higher chance of it bouncing back into your active lead status. When you're working the lead like that with the other professional, though, like I said before, remember to talk to each other and to know where you're at on it. Another objection would be, why would I work with you? I'm trying to call the listing agent. Well, are you familiar with what a buyer's agent is? Are you familiar that I'm here to work with you and that I can show you any and all homes? Too often do agents give up because someone says something. The other day, Zillow sent out a really funny video about their best of Zillow marketing. And on it, they put in videos which had audio recordings of different conversations with agents. It was flat out embarrassing, some of the things that was said by certain people. One person, they called in and the person asked about a home and the agent said, no, that's sold. Period. End of statement. What kind of answer is that? Instead of saying, unfortunately, that property is no longer available, but the good news is there's other properties within that marketplace that I can show you. Have you seen XYZ property or XYZ property? Would you like to get out and take a look at them? Who answers the phone and says, no, that property's sold? Oh, okay, then I'm not going to buy a house anymore. Thanks for the no. I guess I can't buy a house forever. It's like, no, that never happened. Why are you treating a lead like that? Why would you ever have it be that way? Why don't you just pause for a second and think about this? When they call in and say, hey, I'm looking for this property, you say, oh, well, it's a pleasure talking with you. Who am I speaking with right now? And what's your email address? And what's your phone number? Can you just give me a few minutes here and I'll reach right back out to you and get you some more information? Then you can track down all the other properties, look into what's available. You know this other property is sold, so you can have time to answer them on that. And you can also call the agent on that property and say, how firm is the deal you have going? Because don't be afraid to be a backup offer. I've actually landed houses where we were third in line. So don't ever, ever, ever just say to somebody, no, that property is sold. Well, I think you get the point of this whole entire podcast today. The point is that in order to increase your lead conversion, you need to increase your reach and the number of contacts you put out to them. What you put in is what you get out, and lead conversion is all about effort. Never ever feel bad about lead conversion, and always make it a practice. Make sure to time block some time every week for lead conversion, and even when you're busy, chase after all leads. Cold or warm, a lead's a lead. Get it done. Thanks for listening this week. If you have any questions, email me, message me, or give me a call. I look forward to talking to you next week. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.